At least once in everyone's life, I'm pretty sure you come across a new perspective, whether that is through a thought or actually witnessing the idea. In this exact moment, you discover and realize things don't have to be the way they are. You realize there's a better perspective, there's a better way of living your life. Now, whether you decide to adopt this philosophy or this new perspective you've come across is entirely up to you. In my case, this took place during my first year of university. I discovered a new podium of thinking and a way of life. As a teenager, even before attending university, the only thing I cared about was partying, girls, and clothes. Posing and stunting on social media. You could say I was very fond of the exterior me. I came across a perspective shift during two different occasions. One in my first year university, the other in the second year. For the first time in my life, I came across the world of self-development. Like, I can actually improve different areas of my life by firstly improving myself. Of course, it wasn't like I just made a decision straight away and changed my life right there and then. But these are two occasions that I will never forget. And I always knew, because I had the evidence in front of me, I could always tap back into the same perspective and philosophies. During my first year of university, I came across my flatmate. My first impression of him was that he was just a quiet guy that was just there to get his degree and live his life. He was a few years older than the average first year student, and most of the time he didn't really say much. During my 3 years in university, I personally never saw Shay physically out partying. In fact, if he wasn't in his room, he's in the library and vice versa. Another thing I noticed about him was that he was up between 6 to 7 a.m. every morning, regardless whether he had an early lecture or not. And now I lived 3 doors away from the guy. I remember thinking to myself, how was this guy so disciplined? How did he motivate himself to do things he didn't really have to do? My second experience of entering a new mental realm took place in my second year of university. Long story short, I joined a network marketing company. You know, you join through someone and then you have to bring 2 people in, and so on and so forth. A week after me and a few university friends got pitched the idea in a university lecture room, I went back to my hometown skeptical. But then, a couple of days after that, I joined. Then another friend, then another, and another one. Before you know it, we were the fastest growing team in the whole of UK. Started out holding our first few conferences in our friend's chicken shop. As we grew larger, we moved on to his dad's community conference hall. We were growing at such a fast rate that we had ambassadors who were higher ranked in the company coming all the way to England and speaking at our conferences. As I look back now in hindsight, it wasn't about making the money or losing the money, even though I did lose the money. It's the things that I learned that are still stuck with me today. For example, I would have never imagined to public speak. I did it, even though I was scared. I had to public speak. Holding meetings, conferences, networking, learning how to communicate, and coming across motivational speakers such as Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, and Bob Proctor for the first time. Now, what's the relevance of these 2 occasions that I came across in my life? Well, the lesson that I hope you will learn from this video that I've learned is that you have to become a sponge in life. Instead of looking at a situation thinking you know it already or you know better, always ask yourself this question: what can I take from this situation, good or bad, that will make my experiences better in the future? My university flatmate, who I am friends with till this day, he now runs a successful online business, earning 6 figures multiple times in a year. Accident? I think not. I'm pretty sure his habits back then has put him in this position he's in today. Even though back then I was a little bit ignorant and I was on a completely different wave than he was, I still thought to myself, I can learn something from this guy and I can apply this in my life. Around a few years later, the network marketing company that I joined was no more. If me and some of my friends had a short-term mentality, we would have looked at it as we wasted so much money traveling, buying equipment, holding events. But for me personally, I saw that as a great learning lesson. Those leadership skills, communication skills will never go to waste. These are skills that will forever stay with me as I build on them. Finally, my biggest takeaway from the network marketing situation was that I knew what I didn't want to do, and I didn't want to pursue my computer science degree. I realized I wasn't made to sit behind a computer screen for the whole day. During those days, I realized that I'm a free spirit. Give back to the world, limit suffering the best way I could. while making money and valuing my time. My final message for this video is have the ability to learn from people who inspire you and learn from situations that made you step out of your comfort zone, whether good or bad.